So with that, let me take my first question to Pratik. Um, and that is to do with a certain area of passive investing which is now emerging, which is fund of funds into ETFs. Now, as most of you know, further flows into overseas funds have been stopped because the limit has been hit. But the ETF category is still open. So, Pratik, if you could tell me a little bit about FOFs investing overseas. I remember that some time ago you had a plan to launch an emerging markets FOF investing in an ETF. So can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, sure. Good morning, everyone. So, I think just to, maybe give a little bit of background, when most people think about passive funds, they think about Nifty, Sensex, but actually there's a whole world, or at least in today's time, there's a lot of options that you're available for, funds outside that. You have, mid cap, small cap, you have international, you have commodities, you have, debt, obviously, which is now a huge segment. So, I think international is one segment which was primarily, I would say, overlooked, prior to 2019-20. And I think if you look at most global portfolios, if you look at an average investor's portfolio in US or Europe or Southeast Asia, I used to be a wealth manager in my previous sort of experience, and I used to manage money for investors. And I saw that about 20 to 40% of their allocation was actually outside their home country, outside their, there's, so I think that was something which is completely missing. And that's when, sort of we, got involved and, started pitching international funds. And yes, I think, currently the situation is, not that great. I think we have, there were limits imposed in 2007, and those limits are, are close to being breached. And a lot of funds, I would say most funds today have sort of, closed their funds, including ours. And we are obviously awaiting, new sort of limits, to come out. So I think that's where, I think, the situation is today. We do believe that, obviously a lot of the, I would say, interest in international funds is coming because of the impressive track record. But we believe that it is a very credible way of diversifying your portfolio in line with obviously global standards, and it also makes sense for it really sort of adds I would say an element of non-correlation to your existing portfolio, and really gives you that I would say diversification. It's also the only asset class where your returns will be pretty much the same as equity, but your risk, sort of comes down dramatically when combined with Indian equity. So I think in that sense, it's pretty credible. And obviously, there is a long way ahead. We obviously await more clarity on, where this will go. But so far, I think, from what I know of, we're just waiting for the current macro situation to, get better. And once that happens, there's more clarity. We will see, further limits coming in.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.